All right, what's up, YouTube? If you're new here, my name is Zach Sedano. I've been selling on Amazon since 2021 and teaching people how to sell on Amazon since 2020. Today, I just want to go over a PowerPoint that I made for my in-person event. Literally just breaks down exactly how you could get started on Amazon, what to think of Amazon FBA, realistic expectations to have, and overall just a little bit about me, my journey, how I got into Amazon, and basically how anyone can get into Amazon if they want to. So right here, this is true. I literally started with $200, and in my first 2 years, I made over 200 grand in profit. My first year, I hit over $1 million in sales. And this was starting with less than $150, no credit cards. I didn't really get credit cards until I was like a year into selling on Amazon. But let's get right into it. So it's going to be a step-by-step guide to making $300 a day profit in 30 days by literally working about an hour or two a day. So what we're not going to say is the magic formula to guarantee success overnight, because that's not true. You don't need to put in any effort or hard work to succeed on Amazon. Also not true. You'll become an Amazon millionaire within a week. Also not true. And forget about competition. You'll never have any competition on Amazon. This is all stuff we won't say. And hopefully, if you're watching this, you didn't think any of those things, because none of them are true. So what you're going to learn in this training is a complete beginner's guide to selling brand name products on Amazon like I do, all the basics that I use and every seller uses, and insights on the two business models that I use. So who am I? My name is Zach. I'm a 26-year-old from New York. In 2020, I was addicted to Xanax and I got kicked out of college, and I had to move back in with my parents, and I was delivering wings full time in my town. Started an eBay business that changed my life. It helped me eventually build up the capital to get into Amazon. Started going to garage sales with $150 and eventually built up some capital to get into online arbitrage on Amazon. Since 2020, I've done close to $4 million in sales across Amazon and eBay. I've created a Discord that has over 1,000 members in it, and I've helped literally hundreds of people get started with Amazon. And now I also create content for brands as well. All of these platforms have completely changed the outcome of my life, and I'm literally forever grateful to been able to have taken the advantage when I did with Amazon, eBay, just social media, just everything in general. I've helped people as young as 15 start this and as old as 65 start this. So it's really up to you if you take this serious and really want to learn and start making online money, because it works for anyone. You just got to put in the work. This is a little bit of my success. Here's a picture of me hitting $1 million in sales my first year. It's another picture of one of my first wholesale orders right over here. This is literally where I started. This was my desk where I started. I literally just had a lamp and I was taking pictures of stuff I found at the thrift store and reselling on eBay. Eventually got into some online arbitrage. These are a bunch of Walmart orders. Some days I was getting 100 packages delivered to my house. It was absolutely crazy. Now I use a prep center. We'll talk about it later, but now I don't have to touch any of the products. It's all done for me remotely. I live in Miami now. Last 3 years, I've been sending all my stuff to a warehouse in Delaware. So this is really possible. I literally started in this garage right here. Like, this is where I started everything, with a party like folding table. So this stuff is possible. Again, my first $1 million year was my first year selling on Amazon, and my first 100K month, you could see there on the right, it was in May. But my students have literally made over $10 million in sales by working with me. Concepts of Amazon are very, very easy. You just really need to get the right information and just stick with it. Endless testimonials from people in my Discord, people texting me. It was really cool, like the lives that I've changed over the years. Here's a few more testimonials of the students of mine. And then this is just like one of my really good friends that texted like a couple, like probably like a year ago. He's just like, damn, bro, you really chose a good path. You get to do whatever the fuck you want. Don't take that for granted. I'm a 9 to 5, 5 days plus a week slave, and I have no life. I'm 26. This is my friend that's also 26. And yeah, it's crazy. Most most of my friends now are all entrepreneurs. We all do whatever we want. We all have some type of online business, but all of my friends growing up, they're all working at 9 to 5s that they're absolutely miserable about. And that was like my goal with starting this whole thing. I just want to enjoy life and have fun. And Amazon has literally gave me everything I've wanted and more. So why Amazon makes so much sense. It's a $1.92 trillion company that they allow us to sell on their platform. They do $500 billion in revenue every single year. 60% of the products sold on Amazon come from third-party sellers. Everybody you know shops on Amazon, and 99% of the people have zero clue that you could even sell on Amazon. And 43% of sellers have made over $100,000 in revenue, which really gives you no excuse. If you start and stick with it, there's a 50% chance you can make $100,000, which is probably like 10 to 30 grand in profit. And just remember, anyone at any age with any amount of capital can do this. Every great Amazon business starts with literally just a few products in their store, and they scale to hundreds or thousands. The main thing is with all online business, they all work, whether it's Turo or Airbnb or dropshipping or Amazon FBA or high ticket sales. They all work. The main thing is you just have to believe in yourself. And if someone else can do it, there's no reason you can't do it. So the agenda for today is just a brief overview of Amazon FBA, a brief overview of online and retail arbitrage, overview of the different business models on Amazon and which one would be the best for you, the difference between retail and online arbitrage, I already said that, the difference between FBA and FBM, that's a huge one, types of good products, good brands, and just good websites to look out for where you could buy products to resell back onto Amazon. And if you stay to the end, I got 2 products that I'm going to be showing you that I sold on my own store that have netted me over like 15 grand in profit. Literally just 2 products out of like the hundreds that I've sold over the year, just to give you an idea of like what's possible. But beginner frequently asked questions, can I start this part-time? Yes. Once you learn Amazon, it really doesn't take a lot of time. Anyone can do this part-time or full-time once you get there. How much capital does it take to get started? I recommend people start with like $500 or $1,000. I personally started with $150, but I recommend a little bit more if you're really like looking to scale quickly. But just to learn, $500 to $1,000. Do you need to negotiate with Chinese suppliers? No, you don't. You're not dealing with China. We are not dealing with any marketing. We are not dealing with basically any logistics. We buy all of our products from websites like Walmart, Costco, Target, and just resell them back onto Amazon. It's very, very simple. Is there a way to automate the process? Yes, there is. I currently have a virtual assistant team in the Philippines, basically running the whole store online. And then I have a prep center in Delaware that basically handles all of the packages when I order them. So the last couple of years, I have done nothing, completely hands off. So eventually, I'd recommend to everybody you need to learn hands-on, but eventually you'll be able to outsource this business and eventually get into other business models like I have. Do you need tons of space to start? You really don't. I literally started in my bedroom that I shared with my brother. You do not need a lot of space to start. Then I ended up moving to my garage, thankfully, because it was open. But you could really start in basically a 1-bedroom apartment. And then when it comes to it, outsource it to a prep center. I recommend when you're at like around 10K a month in sales, to 20K a month in sales, you could get a prep center and it'll make it like worth your while. But do you need to do customer service? No, you don't. Amazon takes care of the customer service unless you're doing FBM, but 9 times out of 10, customer service is really nothing to worry about. I heard it's impossible to get ungated. No, it's not. I have plenty of videos and guides breaking down exactly how to get ungated. Long story short is Amazon wants to make sure you're selling a legitimate product. So they basically ask you for an invoice of where you bought the product. Usually you just need to buy 10 units, submit the invoice from a website like Target, and you will get approved in any brand. How do you get paid by Amazon? Good question. When you first make the account, it's every 2 weeks, and about a month in, you get eligible for daily payouts, and then you could basically get your money daily. And how do you get your products to the Amazon warehouse? Basically, you would buy like 100 of these, put them all in one big box, send it off to Amazon, and then Amazon would sell them individually for you. So like basically the only shipping you have to do is to Amazon's warehouse, then they take care of everything. So these are the different types of business models on Amazon. First off, book selling, buying from bookstores, super high ROI, super slow moving products, but it's very low risk and you don't need a lot of capital. Retail arbitrage is just buying items from retail stores. Hard to get products in volume, but you can find very profitable products. Super low risk, don't need a lot of capital. Online arbitrage, you're basically doing the same thing as retail arbitrage, but you're doing it online. So I'm just typing in Nike.com, buying stuff off Nike, shipping them to my house, then shipping them to Amazon. Is really good for finding products quickly. And sometimes you could really buy products in bulks, buy at a time. Again, low risk, low capital. Anything that you buy from, let's say, Nike, and it doesn't get sold in 60 days, you could just return it back to Nike and get 100% of your money back. So Amazon is almost risk-free doing online arbitrage. Wholesale is buying directly from a brand or distributor. Usually you have to buy in bulk, great for volume. The main thing is you need a lot of capital. Most of these wholesalers, they want minimum $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 purchase order. And if anything happens, you can't return this product to the wholesaler. You're stuck with the bag and you're going to either lose money or figure out how to sell it. High risk, high capital, definitely high opportunity. I recommend this for people that have been selling on Amazon for a few years already, not to new people. Private label, this is probably like the hardest thing to do on Amazon. This is making your own product. You're buying it from China. You're going to have to invest minimum 10 to 20K on your first order that you're probably going to break even on. You have to learn how to run ads. You have to learn about logistics from shipping from China to the US. It's very, very expensive. You have to learn how to just build a brand, which is way harder than people realize. So I recommend everybody start with retail and online arbitrage just because it's the easiest. So online arbitrage is literally just buying from a retail website like Nike.com, shipping it to yourself or a 3PL like a prep center, just a community warehouse, and then selling it on Amazon. Benefits, it's easy to start, super scalable, and you could spend your money very quickly. Retail versus online arbitrage. Retail arbitrage, it's harder to find items in bulk, but it's easier to learn, in my opinion, just doing retail arbitrage. You could definitely turn your items over faster because you don't have to wait for them to get shipped to your house, then ship them to Amazon. With retail arbitrage, if you're in the store, you could scan the stuff, list it on your store, and get sales in store before you even buy the product. Retail arbitrage is very time consuming. You need to drive around from store to store. You could only cover so much ground in a day, but you could develop really, really good relationships with managers at these stores, and they could give you inside deals. Also, very low capital required. You could start with a couple $100. Online arbitrage, easier to find items in bulk. Slow turnaround times on items because you have to ship it to your house, then ship it to Amazon. So there's a little bit of just logistic delay in there. Way less time consuming because I could look up 100 products in an hour on my computer, and it'll take a lot longer doing it in store, going store to store. Much easier to outsource online arbitrage because you could hire virtual assistants from the Philippines for about $4 an hour, and they could literally run the store for you. Online arbitrage, it's easy to find replenishable items that you could buy over and over and over again. Harder to do in store because every store has different stuff. And again, low capital required for online arbitrage. The types of products we're looking for is literally just everyday big name brand items like Lego, Tide, Lululemon, Stanley, Adidas. We're looking to buy them from websites like Target, Walmart, Costco, Ross, Lowe's, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, WSS. The list goes on. So that's what we're looking for. The different methods of sourcing are manual sourcing. That's basically just going on a website and looking for the products and looking up on Amazon and see how much they're selling for. 2 is storefront stalking. That's basically using the competition, like other Amazon sellers, to see what they're selling. And you look at their store and basically take items from their store that are selling because ideally, if they're selling it, they want to be profitable. 3 is using softwares to source for you, like tactical arbitrage or like a leads list or something. And 4, you could use AMZ Scout product research. just another software. Ways you can increase your profit are discount codes within the website, promotions, sales like Labor Day, Memorial Day, July 4th. Basically every month they have a sale that you could get really discounted items, which is usually the time you want to buy stuff for online arbitrage. 2 is using cashback websites like Rakuten, Top Cashback, Retail Me Not. These are basically extensions that just give you like a kickback for using their extension. For example, like Rakuten could have 10% off Nike, and you spend $1,000 on Nike, they give you $100 like in like Rakuten money that you could either cash out direct deposit or like use to buy gift cards. 3 is using discounted gift cards. Websites like Raise.com, Card Cookie, Card Bear. These are all websites you could buy discounted gift cards and basically get like 5-10% off a $100 gift card, and you'll save $5 to $10 an order. That's just more profit in your pocket. 4 is using a tax exemption or send to a prep center in a tax-free state to save on tax. So for example, I live in Florida right now. If I buy $1,000 worth of stuff, 8% sales tax, it's going to cost $1,080. If I send my $1,000 worth of stuff to Delaware, there's no sales tax. So if it's just going to be $1,000 plus the prep fee, which is usually around $1.50 to $2. So you're literally saving around $60 to outsource your work so you can chill more. Just something to think about. Setting up an account, super easy. It's either an individual account that's free and the fees are $1 per order, and there's some limitations. You can't get buy box and a few other things. If you're serious about starting Amazon, it's $40 a month, no $1 charge per order, and it's what all the sellers use if you're serious. Basically, if you're selling over 40 items a month, you want to get the professional account, which is what I recommend. If you're not getting the professional account, just don't even start Amazon, in my opinion, because it means you're not serious and you're just going to waste your time. Just being honest. FBA versus FBM. FBA is fulfilled by Amazon, so they ship you ship items in a larger box or pallet into Amazon's warehouse. Rate is around 25 cents per pound. Amazon packages the items, ships them to the customer for you, handles the logistics, handles the customer service, handles the advertising, literally does everything for you. And you could definitely scale very quickly using FBA and like utilizing their services. Is a little bit more fees than FBM, but it makes up for it with all the customer service and just everything they offer. Fulfilled by merchant is, think of it as selling on eBay. So this is fulfilled by merchant. So you're the merchant, you have to fulfill the order. So say I get an order for this, I have to pack it up myself, I have to ship it out, I have to bring it to the post office myself, and it gets delivered directly to the customer. With FBA, it's more like we're sending in 100 units of these, Amazon's going to hold them and ship them out individually to all the customers for us. FBM, you have to ship them out individually yourself, but there's about 15% less fees. You're going to have to buy a shipping label, so that's going to definitely cut into your margins, but there's definitely less fees with FBM. And like I said, you could turn over your money a lot quicker. Ungating, like I said before, very easy. Find the brand or category you're going to get ungated in. Order 10 units of that product off a website like Target. Get the invoice, scan your invoice onto your phone, go to the Amazon seller app, add that product to your store, submit your invoice and the 10 photos of the item. People miss that sometimes. And Amazon rejects submissions sometimes. This happens. You have to resubmit until they accept it. My first time getting ungated in Nike, I had to submit the same invoice 8 times. And then on the 9th time, I got ungated. So you really just have to stay persistent. So SellerAmp is one of the main softwares that you're going to want to use when sourcing. Super easy to use, super straightforward. This is actually an example of a product that I sold in the past, this Barbie dream house. I was getting them for $100, selling them for $225, and I was making about $40 profit per unit, 36% ROI. And I used the SellerAmp to calculate this data. So it's only $19 a month. It's one of the 2 softwares that you need. It has a profit calculator that covers all fees that will show you if you're profitable or not. Super easy to use, and it's super easy to like get ungated through SellerAmp. There's just a button you click and it brings you right to Amazon. You you could look at other sellers' storefronts right here. If you click on one of these FBMs, it'll bring you to the seller's store and you could see what they're selling. So you could put the same item on your store. And you could quickly access Keepa charts to check product data. Keepa is the second software that you need to learn. And after you learn Seller Amp and Keepa, it's literally everything you need to know about Amazon. And then it's just a repetition game of looking at as many products as you possibly can. So, like I said, the second software you need to use is Keepa. And it basically shows all the product data you need to make good inventory purchases. So Keepa literally tells you if you're going to make money on a product or not. So you don't have to guess. If the Keepa chart looks good, it means you're going to make money. You could see 6 to 18 months in the past of what the price is to ensure that it's going to be a stable price. So you know when you buy it at $20 and it's at a stable price of $50, you know how much money you're going to make, compared to if the price drops to $20, then back to $50, then back to $20, then back to $50. You don't want a product like that. You want a product with a straight price history. It also tells you how fast an item is selling by showing the competition. You could see by this chart, this blue line at the bottom, this is the number of sellers. So you could see as the number of sellers go down, the price goes up. Simple supply and demand. Also, sales rank. Sales rank is one of the only things you need to understand. Keep it short. The lower the sales rank, the faster the product is going to sell. So you want to find items with the lowest possible sales rank on Amazon. You use the data table to make sure Amazon isn't dominating the buy box. It literally shows you under data, it shows you what percentage Amazon is getting the sales. So if it's under 80%, you're good. You're going to get sales. If it's over 80%, it's going to be hard to get sales. And then Keepa also shows how many sales each variation is getting. So if you're on a listing with 5 different flavors, they're not all going to each get the same amount of sales. And Keepa shows you exactly which one is selling the most, which one's selling the second most, and so on. So Seller Amp and Keepa are crucial to learn for selling on Amazon. Buy box, I went over it a little bit before, but basically the buy box is the add to cart / buy now button you see off to the side on Amazon where it says like buy now. 88% of the sales on Amazon happen through the buy box. So it's really important to understand what this is. Basically, how you get the buy box is there's a plethora of different things that go into getting the buy box, but some of the most important ones are fulfillment system. Is it FBA or FBM? Generally, FBA, you could sell your items a little bit faster. What's the price of the item? Generally, Amazon gives the sale to the lowest price person. And delivery time, how long is it going to take to get to the customer? Those are usually some of the most important metrics, but all of these metrics come into play. You could pause and check out this cheat sheet if you'd like. But like I said, this is an example of a profitable product that I personally sold on my store. You could see my name right here, Zachary. I bought, these were $99 a piece. I sold, in just 1 month, I sold 50 of these, did $10,000 in sales, got 2 refunds, and did $2,500 in profit. And mind you, I had probably 10 to 15 other products just like this in my store at the same time. So I was buying these from Walmart for $100, and you could see over here they were selling for $225 on Amazon. So there's a lot of money to be made. Here's another example of a profitable product that I've sold. I was buying them from Macy's over here, as you could see, for $129, and I was selling them for around $200 to like $240. And you could see here, over 1 month, I literally made $44,000 in sales and $8,000 in profit with literally just this one item. And again, I have many items in my store at one given time. And the whole idea of Amazon, once you can find one item, you could find thousands of items. It's just a repetition game of just doing it over and over and over and over again. But a lot of people don't show you this, but this is my actual account. Like, you could actually see me buying this stuff, and this is my actual seller board. So this stuff is real. It's hard with social media nowadays and like all the gurus, but Amazon really works. And this is why I want to like start making content more. It's because like I actually help people learn how to sell on Amazon, and it could really change your life. But you don't have to, I mean, Amazon should sell itself. You don't really you don't need anyone to convince you. I didn't need convincing, but if you want to work with me one-on-one, you'll have direct access to me and I will point you in the right direction. I'll save you time and money. I have hundreds of guides, tons of organized video content. I teach you how to find profitable products, how to get ungated, how to get free shipping supplies, how to hire a virtual assistant, how to scale your store, and the list goes on. I have a free Discord community down below if you just want to join and get some initial info and see what Amazon is about. And also, if you need help repairing your credit or getting access to business funding, please let me know. I've repaired hundreds of people's credits and helped countless people get funding for their business. So if you have any questions, please drop them below. Hope you got some value out of this video. And that's it for now. Have a good day. Peace.